Good afternoon and welcome to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Talk about a start. That was some of our resident lions christening the live post here with their beautiful lion song, something we frequently hear throughout the day and oftentimes on our live posts. Roar, roar, roar. That was one thing that was special about first coming here to the Wildcat Sanctuary was the auditory experience that you have. The chuffing of tigers, the hissing, the purring, the roaring. It's absolutely incredible. So what a great and fun note to start our live post out. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are the Wildcat Sanctuary, a forever home for wildcats in need. We're home to just over 100 plus rescued residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I see two of our rescued residents enjoying a day of living wild at heart. That is Tiger Caesar on the bottom level of the platform and his brother Logan right on top. So welcome everyone. Hi Julie Robbins, thanks for joining us. Lori, you're right, that was a perfect start to the post. Love the caroling. Judy B says, awesome start to the post, caroling lions. I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And if you tuned in yesterday, you know that we're trying something a little new this week here at TWS, and we're wanting to be bringing you live posts at a scheduled time. So all this week at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find us right here live on our Facebook page, hanging out with the cats that you guys do so much to support, and telling you about their stories, telling you about where your support goes and how it helps our residents to live a compassionate life, and all the other things that come with a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So we're certainly looking forward to changing our gears up here, and hopefully you guys will enjoy things as well. Lori M is commenting that Caesar and Logan turned their heads at the same time, and that is for a very specific reason. That would be Griffin and Zeke and Dimitri are all up by the building near their caretakers, and so they are wondering, hey, are those guys getting extra food? We didn't get any extra food. We just want to make sure that we're not missing out on anything special. And another thing I want to mention too is, hey, we're doing these live posts. We're going to be doing them for a little bit longer of a time period, the actual live portion of it. So, hey, ask me questions. I'd love to hear from you. Obviously, if I'm not able to answer that question, we would just leave it in the comments and confer with Tammy and make sure that your question is answered appropriately and accurately. And so always know that during these live posts, you have a question about TWS and how we operate and what we do, give us a shout in the comments. I would absolutely love to answer all of everyone's questions. And Ellen Simmons is mentioning, you can tell they are the TWS horses. So Caesar and Logan, we have kind of given them the moniker of the horses of TWS. And kind of what that means is they are big. Caesar and Logan, you can see Logan coming down from that top perch. Caesar and Logan are actually our largest residents, clocking in at close to just under 500 pounds. And another thing we know about Caesar and Logan you were so awesome and so patient and understanding. Another thing we know about Caesar and Logan is that Logan likes to be protective of his brother in his habitat. So we appreciate that Logan gave us a little time to zoom in on you and your brother enjoying yourselves, but now here's him walking up and showing his side and letting me know that he is boss, and you are boss, big guy. But we saw a handful of other cats enjoying themselves here on this wonderful early fall day here. And so we're going to keep this party moving. Isn't that right, mister? Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining us, yeah, I'm heading out of here, big guy. I'm getting out of Dodge. If you're just joining us, everyone, welcome, welcome. We're on a sanctuary stroll today, visiting with some of our rescued residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And today I'm just encouraging anybody to ask any questions that they would have about the Wildcat Sanctuary on today's post. I'd absolutely love to answer them. And we'll kind of let the cats be the backdrop as we talk about some of the questions that you guys may have. It can be things as simple as, hey, how much does a lion get fed a day? Or, what's a witness protection cat? You name it, I'd love to answer it for you. And like I said, if I'm not able to answer your question accurately or clearly, we'll be sure to go right back in the comments. But I'd recommend taking advantage of asking me a question while we're right here live together so you can hear it in real time. Lori M says, yep, Logan says, stay behind the rope. You are right about that, big guy. And that's one thing you guys will notice here at the Wildcat Sanctuary is we are never going to force one of our residents into a situation that's making them uncomfortable. If Logan wants to be assertive and protective space and be possessive, just like it's in his nature, he is totally entitled to doing that. And I hear the tiger trio having some choice words with each other. Well, howdy doody, Leo. And that was another lion welcome. That's Lion Leo, and you can see his sister Mansa right there on the other side of the frame. And just starting from the bottom, that was a good song, Mr. Leo. That was a real good song. Just starting from the bottom, Kimmy Joy is asking, how many types of cats do you have here? Okay, this might be one I need everybody's help with. So from the top, we have our hybrid residents, which include Bengals, Savannahs, Chowsees. And then we go over to our small cat track where we're going to have our servals. And we have bobcats as well. So who's keeping count for me? We're on to bobcats. We do have Lynx. We have Eurasian and Canada Lynx. Oh, that's a good spot, Mansa. We have African lions like we see here. We have leopards, we have cheetahs. Again, who's keeping count for old Judson over here? I'm losing track. Leopards, cheetahs, and then of course tigers. And somebody let me know if I missed anything. Lots of species here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. It truly is amazing just how many species of cats are caught up in this, what we call the captive wildlife crisis, and how many unfortunately are in need of rescue. And we're happy to be here for these cats in need of rescue, but obviously we don't want to see any cat in captivity, a wild cat that is. And so obviously that's what a big important part of what we do here on Facebook is outreach, education, to try to let people know, hey, look at all these cats that we have that are rescued. Look at all these different species. Look at all these different cats that are being affected. There's definitely a problem here. So that's a really good question and kind of touches on the larger issue of just how many species are involved in what we call the captive wildlife crisis. Now Miss Mansa's sleeping. Let's see if I can get another question. I see a Willie donated. Hey, thank you for that gift, Willie. I see Melody, my media intern, already gave you a thank you. And a very common question is someone's asking about the relation of Priya, who is a tiger at the Big Cat Rescue Sanctuary, in the relation to the tiger trio. Priya is, yes, indeed, the aunt of the tiger trio. We commonly see that pop up on our live posts. I see someone, Lynette was asking, do you ever go live at feeding time? Oh, what a beautiful picture of Logan. Thanks for saying that. Yes, we do go live at feeding time. We've had a couple really fun and informative live posts where we tag along with our caretaking staff as they feed the cats. It's 2 p.m. right now, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time here at the sanctuary. So just about all the cats have been fed here at the sanctuary. So like I said, this week we're trying things kind of in the p.m., so 2 p.m. every day Central Standard Time for our live posts. But next week we're going to be trying some AM hours, and when we're going to be doing those AM times, I presume we'll be including some feeding in there, so you can hang tight for that, Lynette. And I see a sleepy black leopard. That would be Shazam. We've got just about 1 million nicknames here for Shazam. And we always love it when you guys come up with a few of your own as well. Yeah, there you go, mister. Out like a light, he says. That gives me a second to look at some more questions, Mr. Shim Sham. And before I do that, I just want to thank anyone who's given on this post. You can give a donation just by hitting that shiny donation button right here on the frame. And I also see that we've received 400 stars. 1 star counts for 1 cent. That's $4 for the Cats of the Wildcat Sanctuary. So thank you for that. Now let's look at some questions. Oh, awesome. I see Julie's in there helping answering some of our questions. Thank you for that, Julie. And somebody asking about subspecies of lions, which is something that I'm not very educated on, so that's great to have. And I see somebody asking, can the public visit? That's a very common question that we get here at TWS. Look how snappy you are, Shazam. And the answer to that is no, we are not open to the public, and that's for many reasons. It has a lot to do with the situations that our cats were coming from. They were being exploited, they were being put up for exhibition, and that's just not a situation we're going to put them in again. And then obviously that's just very much against our mission and vision. Like I said, a lot of our cats are coming from situations where they've been exploited for profit. So charging people gate fees just to come and look at our cats is, pretty much the last thing we would want to do. And so I'm looking here, everybody. I'm zooming in, and hopefully you guys can see it as well. You may recall, he just turned his cheek, but you may recall Shazam had, we spotted those 3 lumps on his cheek. We shared the news last week that thankfully all 3 of those lumps were benign, but you just saw his cheek over. You can see how fast the fur is growing back on his face. He says, "Are you still talking over there, paparazzi?" So it's great to see how much that fur is growing back on his face, and obviously that lump was not cancerous, and it was indeed benign, and we're always happy to report some happy news here, and especially when it comes to one of our cherished residents like Shazam. And I see somebody mentioning Shazam and Nikita, but I heard some rustling of a lion behind me. And so Shazam used to have quite the special relationship with one of our former rescues who's now passed away, Nikita the Tigress. Nikita was one of our most fractious cats. She had an absolutely tragic past of being exploited, which including being beaten by a fire extinguisher, and just simply lived under one of the most ruthless animal exploiters that the world knew at that time. And so Nikita came here, and boy, oh boy, we could not, hard to put into words just how special it was to see the bond that she formed with Nikita. And I'm sure that somebody in the comments is going to be able to link a video that we have on our YouTube channel of Nikita and Shazam spending time together on their walk, because that certainly was a special relationship and is always worth remembering. So I'm just going to turn the camera here because I am walking by one of our witness protection habitats, and you guys by now are familiar with our witness protection program that we here at the Wildcat Sanctuary are home to a number of cats, an exact number we can't disclose, who are in the witness protection program. And you guys can find more details about that on our website. But essentially what the witness protection is that we are offering homes for cats that are still wrapped up in ongoing legal cases. And so we are offering those cats a home. They are not yet our property, which is why legally we can only share so much information about them. And we have articles on our website. We have some really nifty YouTube videos on our witness protection program. And you can find all that information there as well. Well, I'm huffing and I'm puffing and I'm looking for some kitties, and I was hoping Mr. Marcus would be out. But unfortunately, it looks like he says, "Hey, I'm spending time in my indoor bedroom." So we're going to keep on trucking. I apologize if I missed some of your comments because I'm kind of cruising around here. Wendy Franks is saying, thank you for the virtual visits. I can't travel to see any of these beautiful sanctuaries myself. And you love being able to tag along. Well, thank you for that, Wendy. That's, that's exactly what we want to do here on these live posts is, create the sense that you're right here with us, because it's people like you who are supporting the Wildcat Sanctuary and are making all these things possible. Our paid staff, the expansive habitats, the medical care, the diets they receive, all of that is thanks to you guys. And so it makes me happy that you feel that way, because that's how we want it, isn't it? All right, now let's see if we can see if Mr. Gino the lion is out. And if not, maybe we'll head around to the cheetahs and see if those two brothers are hanging out. But I appreciate everyone's patience here. It's another one of the beauties here at the Wildcat Sanctuary is, as we're not a zoo and our habitats aren't built for exhibition, they're built for our cats. And oftentimes they're hiding away and under some tree, or maybe they're spending time in their indoor bedroom, or maybe they're like Gino and they're letting it all hang out while you take a nap. Gino says, I'm letting it all hang out. Wendy Franks is asking, are you able to say if you got any of Tim Stark or Jeff Lowe's cats? We wouldn't be able to, unfortunately. All right, let's see some more questions. Well, we have legs spread, belly to the sky, sleeping Gino in the background. If you weren't able to tell, I know it just looks like a pile of blonde hair with a couple of legs attached to it, but I can confirm that is an African lion who is enjoying his day without a care in the world. See someone mentioning how I get my exercise walking around the sanctuary like this. You're right about that. We're on just over 40 acres here at TWS, and lots of room for the cats, but that means lots of walking for people like me. Lynette Coy, this is a really sweet comment. I've always said if I won the lottery, my mom and me and daughter would run a sanctuary to protect the injured wildlife. I appreciate your time, and I do appreciate how big you have the sanctuary for everything you do. Hey, Lynette, thank you for that. We wouldn't have it any other way, and we appreciate you for seeing that. Wendy Stuck, getting my steps in. You're right about that. Nothing wrong with a little exercise, and yeah, now Gino hears the paparazzi talking, and hey, it's late September here. I have a couple beads of sweat coming down my forehead. I need to relish these beads of sweat because winter is coming, as they say. We saw caretakers were doing some of their end of the year chores, so I saw them actually taking down a lot of the sunshades that we put up across our habitats. Getting rid of those sunshades, because obviously when snow falls, we don't want those to rip and become damaged and fall into any habitats where a cat could get to them. So I've been seeing some heated buckets coming out of storage. Obviously, we want to make sure all of our residents have access to water during the winter months, and so our heated buckets are coming out of storage and are all being tested. Those have just been a couple things of the signs of winter, the signs of the dreaded W word. Let me go through a few more comments here. And again, I hope everybody's been enjoying themselves. You're tuned in to the Wildcat Sanctuary. We've been spending some time with some of our rescued residents here today, strolling about the sanctuary. I here, Judson, am here to answer any of your questions that you may have about the Wildcat Sanctuary. You guys have done a great job of asking a lot of informative questions, and I love being able to answer them. Oh, and I see that someone just got their 2022 calendar. That is right. Our 22 calendars are up for sale, and guess who's on the cover? No other than Dash the Tiger himself. So thank you for that purchase, and of course that helps the cats. And Gino, what in the world is Judson thinking? We had another exciting thing happen today. Our fall auction started. So starting today, ending on Friday, you have just over 60 unique TWS items to bid on. And you can claim one of those for your own and have a TWS keepsake to hang in your house, to have as a conversation starter in your living room. You name it. There's anything from original Wildcat artwork created by some of our residents. Gino even is featured with some of his artistic flair painting. We have some amazing Wildcat inspired artwork of some of our residents created by some amazing artists. We have all types of pug marks, so that's going to be the paw casting that you guys love seeing, as well as, keychains. We have some Wildcat apparel and just Wildcat gift packages. We got lots and lots to offer, and stuff certainly we hope you'll be interested in, and all knowing that it's a great way to support the cats, and it's a great way for you to have a TWS keepsake of your own. I was just scrolling through some of the comments and kind of some people sympathizing with how Nikita was treated. Oh my God, how could people do that? We were talking about Nikita, a white tigress, one of our former residents, and how she was exploited and beaten cruelly. It really, it seems that, kind of that human cruelty has no limits at times, and it can be hard to hear that type of stuff. And unfortunately, it's hard to hear, but it's something that needs to be heard, because that's, what it takes to inspire change and inspire a difference. Let's go to the bottom, Sleepy Gino. We are having quite the sleepy and relaxed cat day, and truthfully, those are my favorite days here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, because all that says to me is that our cats are happy and content. They have nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. Where's their next meal coming from? Are they going to have warm shelter to keep out of the elements? And all of those questions have been answered for our cats, and all of that is thanks to your support. So Mr. Gino, you have been out like a light. I saw him, I think he's slightly aware that I'm over here, but I can imagine just how good that sun feels on your belly, big guy. And I'm glancing around to see if I see Miss Daisy Lady, and I don't, but she might be hanging out in the front of her free-roaming habitat. Nonetheless, we're having a blast, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this sanctuary stroll. We have been to and fro. We literally started out with lions singing. Sophie and Kimba christened this Tuesday live post with their songs. We got to spend some time with Caesar and Logan. And who'd we hang out after that? We got to see Leo, who serenaded us as we entered the wild woodlands section of the sanctuary. Spent some time with him and Mansa, and then we got to see Gino. We've seen a lot of cats. And I'll tell you what, I'm loving these longer live posts. I hope everybody else is. And I appreciate everyone offering up their questions for me to answer. We love that engagement from our followers here at TWS. So keep it up. Keep it up. You can obviously see the Animal Care Center in the background there. I pointed out this angle before. And we're putting the finishing touches on the bungalow on the other side of our work truck there. And this is going to be Anastasia's habitat. So you guys got to participate in the crate training that we were doing with Anastasia the other week. And so it's exciting to see that after we get a little more electrical done in that bungalow, Anastasia is going to be joining the rest of our residents and exiting her quarantine habitat. Now that sounds pretty nice, mister. Now, is that Kitu or Lavani? I can't tell. No, I can't tell. Let's look at some more questions while I have a cheetah backdrop here. That's right. I'm looking here. I saw Tammy hop on. Tammy, the founder and executive director of the Wildcat Sanctuary. So we just had a celebrity appearance in the comments. How cool. Oh, Sherry V saying, thank you, Judson. I needed this today. Hey, Sherry, we are so happy that we can be there for you. And even more so, we're so happy that you can be there for the cats when we need it. And I have both of these boys with their heads turned the opposite way. I can't see you very well. I can't see you. Lori Heath says, yay for Miss Anastasia. She's going to love her new space. We sure hope so. We sure hope so. And for a shy cat like her, we've made sure that she's got tons and tons and tons of options to make sure that she's able to feel safe and secure by being able to kind of shelter and kind of, hide or do whatever she wants to do. So she's got plenty of options in there. Let's see. A lot to keep up with these comments, everyone. I love the fact that I have to scroll and scroll and scroll. It just means that so many of you have been engaging. And I'm just going to get a good backdrop while I keep scrolling so we can make sure everyone's questions get answered. I'm going to glance over and I don't see Ramsey the Lynx across the way, but we'll give a closer look in just a moment. And it looks like that's Kitu. And I see some people talking about how the Wildcat Sanctuary is asking if we touch our cats and that we're a no-contact sanctuary. As a matter of fact, we talked about being a no-contact sanctuary a little earlier on in this post. I see some people providing some linkage to our website. Those are going to be great educational articles for you to get the full skivvy and the full understanding of why we here at the Wildcat Sanctuary are a no-contact facility. Corey Porter says, love to hear about the longer and scheduled posts. Hey, Corey, we're happy about that too. We love hearing the feedback from everyone about what's going to improve their experience here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Trying to get our posts at a scheduled time, trying to create a little sense of repetition will be great for everyone. So thank you for saying that, Corey. And I am going to ask, has anyone, just because I'm curious, it's always fun to see what's catching people's eye. I mentioned that our fall auction started today. I'm sure those who sign up for our e-news would have realized that this morning, and we posted on Facebook earlier today. But I'm just curious, has anybody placed any bids on items that have caught their eye? Maybe they're waiting until the final day to place the winning bid. Be sure to let me know that as well. Because I'd love to maybe even give you a backstory on the item you're looking at, or just to hear what's catching your eye. It's always fun to see. I'm looking at Ramsey the Lynx's habitat, and ever since Lynx Beauty moved in next door, Ramsey has really open up her heart to her, and truthfully, he loves her so much, he's found tons of new spots to hang out in his habitat where he can get a better look at her. And oftentimes, I'll catch Ramsey up here in the evening, but throughout the day, I think Ramsey has a couple good shade spots way along his shared wall here with Beauty. And Mr. Ramsey, you can make it hard to see you sometimes. But speaking of which, who we also haven't seen in a little bit on a live post, here's Miss Beauty. Beauty the Lynx. Hi, pretty lady. Oh, are you going to come and purr and show us how special you are? And, what's something that's interesting about Beauty is she oftentimes likes coming up to the habitat wall like this. She likes rubbing. If you could hear a little bit better, you could hear her purring. She likes showing me her behind like that. And she is doing her best to act like she is an appropriate pet, but we here at the Wildcat Sanctuary know that Beauty is a lynx through and through, and no matter how much purring, we know the fact that she is a wild animal. She is a Eurasian lynx and should be respected as that. And Beauty came to us after being owned privately. She was surrendered here to the Wildcat Sanctuary after, unfortunately, she was actually attacking members in the house. And so it's always good to kind of differentiate. Yes, we see this cute, happy, purring, cuddly cat here walking up, and objectively is a cute animal, but just really understanding that Beauty is a wild animal and needs to be respected as such. And you know, unfortunately, we wouldn't have cats like Beauty in cages if it wasn't for the demand of people for wanting these exotic animals on the pet market. So Beauty, we love you, but you're also a very good educational tool, because no matter how much of a cute and cuddly animal you try to act like, we know that you're a lynx and we are always going to respect you as such. Isn't that right, pretty lady? Isn't that right, pretty lady? Hey, 3,000 stars on this post. Thank you for that, everyone. That 1 star equaling 1 cent, that's a little chunk of change there, so thank you for that. And another thing that you're going to notice about our habitats is, you know, you hear us use the word natural a lot, and we do like to have kind of that overgrowth and kind of the taller foliage and shrubs and things like that, but also we are making a point of mowing pathways for our cats so they have areas to walk down. You guys know that we here at the Wildcat Sanctuary are home to a lot of cats with special needs, and so if those cats need to make sure that they have a proper and stable walking area, we are going to do that. And so you can see behind Beauty here, she kind of has little alleyways kind of meandering through her habitat to make sure that she can still get that wild and natural feel, but also an opportunity for us to make sure that it's still easy to get around, pretty Beauty. Pretty Beauty. Trevor S. saying, Mother Nature and its creatures should be respected. Hear, hear, Trevor. We couldn't agree with you anymore. Oh, and I see that someone is a sponsor of Beauty. Oh, thank you for doing that. You guys have heard us talk about sponsorship before. That is such an excellent way to help with the care here of individual cats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. As a matter of fact, it takes multiple sponsor parents to support the cost of one cat. And so we really are just so thankful to the fleet of supporters who have extended their love from afar to so many of our residents. So I'm happy that you get to see one of your sponsor kitties on a live post enjoying her day living wild at heart. Lisa Parker, you're exactly right. She definitely loves you, but like you said, she is still wild and too dangerous to be a pet. It's so awesome to see just how much you guys take on to our education. And I mean, heck, at this point, I'm sure one of you guys could just come to the sanctuary and I could put the phone in your hand and you could do this live post better than I could, Beauty. And this might be a good natural conclusion of Beauty just kind of disappearing into the foliage of her habitat. And they ask me why it's so hard to get photos of certain cats. I think that's a great example. Beauty just disappearing into her free roaming habitat. That's special. Special, special, special. I'm going to come around the corner just to see if I see baby Jenga or not. Otherwise, I think, everyone, for our second installment of a Sanctuary Stroll, I think we may be coming to an end. But I've had a blast today, everyone. I really appreciate everyone's engagement and asking questions. I want to apologize if maybe I scrolled over your question or miss it. I know that Melody, my media intern, is in there and will be answering questions, and I'll be joining her as well. So have no fear, we will make sure you're acknowledged. And I'm just going to turn the corner and see if we can maybe say hi and bye to baby Jenga Blue. But he's another cat who has very specific napping spots. And it looks like he may be in one of those specific napping spots where it is a little hard to see for the paparazzi, but that's okay. We'll end with a shot on Andre on top of his platform. How about that? And I'll scroll through a couple more questions just to make sure everybody's accounted for. It's a beautiful backdrop. This went real well, says Betty Winter. Thank you for that, Betty. And thank you, Robin. Hey, Len, thanks for the lengthy, informative live walkabout today. Hey, Len, thank you for joining us. Karen M., as always, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Corey P. is asking, how do you remember all the names and tell them apart? Corey, it took some time, I'll tell you that. But before I let you go, I'll use Andre as an example. If I can zoom way in here. You can't really tell here from unfortunately, but Andre lives with 4 other cougars, and these guys make up the 5 wild. Andre in particular has his very distinctive, I know you guys know the words that are going to come out of my mouth, a very distinctive Elvis lip, we call it. He's missing a canine, and so his bottom lip, or his upper lip I should say, kind of sticks up there. And so that's just an example of kind of the IDing tools that we use here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. But you're right, it took definitely took some time to learn, and took a lot of practice. It's really something. Hey, thank you, Lois, for your comment. Thank you, everyone, for the positivity and the support. I'm so happy that everyone enjoyed this longer walkabout today. You can look forward to one every day this week at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow for the next walkabout. And don't forget, our fall auction is live starting today, ending, that'd be end of day Thursday. So thank you again, everyone, and we'll see you on a live post tomorrow.